Every farmer in America today is worried about one thing: expenses, right? It's getting really expensive to farm in this day and age, and we've had nothing but a massive downturn in grain prices over the past 12 to 18 months, which is obviously breeding a lot of fear and anxiety into the American family farm operation as they're seeing their revenue and ultimately their income be cut in half in some areas here. Now, it doesn't help that input prices have not come down at near the pace or speed that grain prices have, but here's the reality. There are certain expenses that you have inside your operation that you'll never control. But what I wanted to share with you today was also some expenses that you may not ever completely control, but guess what? You can have leverage on them, which is going to help put money back into your bank account. So those are the things that I want to cover with you today inside of this video. So let's first talk about the things that you're just not going to control. Number one is most likely going to be input prices. Yes, you can sit there and try to buy in bulk and get discounts and things like that, but at the end of the day, do you really control what your fertilizer costs are, or what your chemical costs are going to be? Probably not, right? So the input cost is just something that we're never going to control. The second piece here is going to be equipment cost. Can you control what equipment is going to cost you? We've seen dramatic increases in equipment prices over the past several years. And honestly, guys, I would not be surprised if we did not have some massive downturn here of 20 to 40% in equipment prices, and also get to the point where the bank is going to require you to drop those prices as well. The only reason I bring that up is because I went through that in 2014 working inside the ag banking industry, where bank examiners forced us to cut equipment values on our customers' balance sheets by 30 to 40%. We didn't have any opinion on it. We were told to do it. It wasn't a question. It was a statement, and we had to do this. The final three pieces here that you're never going to control are, our first one is going to be real estate costs. You're just not going to control that. Next one is going to be taxes. Taxman has always got to get his money. And then final piece there is going to be insurance costs as well. These are just things that we do have to pay that we ultimately don't have any leverage on. And now I want to move into the things that you may not ever completely control, but I'm going to show you how you can have leverage on them. Now, one of the first things that you can't ultimately control all the way, but can definitely have leverage on, is your interest rate at the bank. Now, it just blows my mind how we've had hundreds of family farm operations come to Legacy Farmer over the years. And there's one thing that a lot of people didn't know, and they didn't know that they could negotiate their interest rate at the bank. But here's some things though that you need in order to be able to do that. The first thing is if you are not structured and organized financially, you're not going to have any leverage to negotiate. So that is literally what we have built our product around inside of Legacy Farmer. Is one, we want to be able to take our farmers from financial chaos and disorganization to financial confidence and clarity, so that they have some level of certainty in the decisions that they're making, and they're no longer making financial decisions based off of emotions, but based off of facts. But here's the deal though, is when you are that well structured and organized financially, and you present those financials to the bank, you are a grade A customer for the bank. They know without a shadow of a doubt that you could take your numbers and you could go anywhere in the region and any bank would be happy to have you, because it's so rare today to have a customer or a farmer who is structured and organized financially. And it's just kind of funny that I'm saying that, but it's just the reality of the world that we live in today. How you package, position, and ultimately present your numbers to your banker is what is going to determine how much leverage you have. And that is the exact reason why customers inside a Legacy Farmer are getting 1 to 2.5% better rates than everybody else in this country. It's strictly because our customers are structured and organized financially, and their banker knows, hey, they better be willing to play ball. We better be willing to do whatever we need to do to keep this customer, because they could easily go down the street to the other bank. That's the type of leverage that you deserve to have as a farmer. That's the type of leverage that you should want to have. And inside a Legacy Farmer, that is exactly what we are focusing on. Your interest rate, again, may not always be able to control it, but you can leverage it and make sure that you're getting a better rate than everybody else inside the economy right now. The next piece here is going to be your grain marketing. Again, can't completely control the entire process, but you can leverage it by being involved. So many farmers and ranchers today just completely avoid the grain marketing process. They may say they have a grain marketing plan in place, and that's great if they do, but how many of you are actually sticking to it? Because from what I've seen is there's several people that have these plans in place, but they're not sticking to it, right? We get down to $4.50 corn, you're waiting for $5 corn. We get down to $4 corn, you're waiting for $4.50 corn, right? You're always waiting. And at the end of the day, it's just ending up costing you hundreds of thousands of dollars by just watching the market consume the value of your grain and ultimately eat away your profits for the year, right? So when it comes to your grain marketing plan, one, do you have a trusted person that's helping you build this out? But two, are you sticking to the plan that you are building out as well? And part of the thing that our customers need inside a Legacy Farmer is the accountability to make sure that they are following through with these things as well. Now let's move into the things that you actually do have complete control over. The first thing is going to be incentives. And what I'm talking about is incentives for your team working inside your operation. Now, the thing is we go back to some of the old sayings. I believe it was from Charlie Munger that said, show me the incentives and I'll show you the result. It's absolutely true with your team inside of the farm operation as well. If you're not incentivizing your team very well, then it's ultimately going to cost you in other areas of the operation. And what I mean by that, for example, we'll talk about repairs and maintenance. You can absolutely decrease your repair bill if you are incentivizing your team to make sure that they are staying on top of maintaining equipment and taking care of equipment while they're running it, if the incentives are lined up correctly, and we can decrease that repair bill there. The other incentives and where it's going to impact you everywhere else inside the operation is your time and your freedom, right? If you're incentivizing your team the right way, they're going to be motivated to do more than what they normally would inside the operation and try to remove things from your plate so that you can fully step into the seats inside the operation where you should be in the first place. That is going to allow you to create more value, create more opportunities, and probably create a lot more revenue and profits for your family farm operation. This then leads us into company culture. This is something that you 100% get to control inside of your organization. By having good company culture, one, you're just creating a great place for your people to work, but two, you're attracting other potential people that might want to work for you as well because of the culture there. This could be one of your strategic advantages, honestly, in your community, because a majority of farmers or ranchers that do have a team, they don't focus on this, right? So the ones that do, you notice them getting all the best people there to work for them. And that is because they focused heavily on creating a really good company culture there that people want to be part of. And then this leads us into our last part here of things that you can absolutely control inside your operation, which is core values. Now, core values create that company culture, but your core values are your guidelines of how you operate inside of your business. They are the standards at which you guys are operating inside of that business. You are using these to guide your decisions. You're using these to attract the right people and repel the wrong people. You are using these to build a solid company culture of everybody who is on the same mission, has the same internal core values, and is moving forward together. That is the type of operation, and more importantly, the team and company culture that you want to build. And this is where you are going to honestly find a lot of money here when you finally get a team that is all on the same mission, the same page, and moving towards the same goal together. So at the end of the day, my friend, there's going to be certain things inside the operation you're just never going to control, right? And we have to accept those things. But what I'm challenging you to do with this video is start looking at the other parts of your operation, the things that you can maybe not fully control, but leverage, like your bank interest rate, but then also the things that, hey, I can fully control this and I have complete leverage over this, right? Make sure you're focusing on those things there, because that's where you are going to find literally hundreds of thousands of dollars every year, depending on the size of your operation, that have been maybe slipping through the cracks inside your operation that you can start bringing back in because you focused on these areas. And again, this is going to be the one thing that really puts you at a strategic advantage to other operations in the area to attract the best people and ultimately build one of the more profitable and sustainable operations inside of your county. And inside of Legacy Farmer, these are the things that we have heavily focused on with our customers and will continue to focus on, just because we've seen the positive results it's produced for our customers time and time again. So if you want help with that, you want us to step in and really help you get your numbers organized, start building out the company culture and core values and the things that you need to build that successful operation that you know you could build, click the link below, schedule a call with our team, and we'll talk to you soon.